Hi everyone, this is Will Taylor. On the course I was delivering today, IOSH Managing Safely, we have to talk about risk assessment. In fact, that's a big chunk of the course. It's part of the assessment is to do a risk assessment. And one thing I was hammering home with the delegates today was the difference between risk assessments and inspections. Because one of the big mistakes delegates on these courses make, and this is not some, I mean, the health and safety professionals amongst you will know this, but there's a huge difference. But line managers who do a lot of inspections and have never really done a risk assessment, they do struggle with this. Inspections are something you do quite frequently, maybe once a day, once a week, once a month, so it's quite a frequent task. Compared to a risk assessment, because a risk assessment on an area or a task, you might only do it once a year, and you review it every year. It's kind of a one-off activity with a bit of a review. But the key thing, the key difference, the key mistake that I see is that people treat risk assessments like an inspection. So they go around looking for hazards that are uncontrolled. They go around looking for things that are wrong. So they'll say, oh, there's a pallet over there. That needs moving. So, hazard. Pallet on walkway. Who might be harmed? Everyone. How might they be harmed? You could trip and fall. Current control measures. It's a marked walkway. Additional control measures. Move pallet. It's like, don't go writing that down. Just move the damn thing. Just move it now. What are you writing that down on your risk assessment for? Take immediate action. There you go, pallet moved, done. Move on. Now, the big difference between a safety inspection and a risk assessment is that a risk assessment doesn't look at what's wrong today. And a safety inspection looks at what's wrong today. Here's the standard. How are we not meeting that standard today? Pallets on the floor, airlines on the floor, that guard's not working, and so on. A risk assessment looks at potential hazards and what could go wrong. So today everything's tidy. Today everything's working. Today everything's in great condition and all the fire exits are clear. But I know it's not always like that. So because I work here every day and I've seen what goes on when things get busy. What could happen? Well, the floor could get untidy. We could have pallets on the floor and boxes and pallet trucks. We could put things in the fire exits. I've seen that happen a few times. We could leave flammable liquids out in the open, ready to get knocked over and spilt. And guards sometimes get bypassed. Interlocks get bypassed. All of these things could happen. Oh, I see everyone's wearing their hearing protection today. Yeah, but I know on the night shift that doesn't happen. I know people take it off on the night shift and turn the radios on and it gets really noisy. So risk assessments are about what could happen, the potential. So it talks about likelihood, the likelihood of hazardous events happening. Whereas safety inspections are a snapshot. What can you see today? What is the standard? And how are we not meeting that standard today? And then that leads you on to what immediate action do we have to take in order to fix those things today? Risk assessments are not so much about the standard we have to meet. You'll write down the standard we already meet. That's like with the existing controls. This is what we already do. But risk assessments are much more improvement oriented. It's like, well, what more should we do? What more would be reasonable in the circumstances? What would be a reasonable thing to do given the level of risk and the standards in industry and what the law requires and so on. So there we are. Critical difference for all you budding health and safety professionals and anyone else who's kind of new to risk assessment and you don't quite get it. Risk assessment's about potential hazards and potential risks. Safety inspections is about what is actually wrong today. Anyway, well, thanks for listening. Give us a like, drop us a comment if you've got any other thoughts. I'll catch you later.